Homes of 2035. What will smart living look like in a decade? Now, it's a very interesting topic, and we are going to explore more on it with our panelists today. It's time for me to invite our panelists on stage, starting with Ms. Rati Chaudhary, editor, The Ideal Home and Garden. Can we have a huge round of applause for Ms. Rati? Everyone, please put your hands together. Thank you for joining us, ma'am. Next up, I would like to have on stage Mr. Maulik Unadkat, founder Beyond Alliance. Can we have a round of applause? Mr. Maulik. Next up, I'd like to invite Ms. Dipttii Khanna, founder and principal designer, Dipttii Khanna Designs. Round of applause, everyone, as she joins us. Next on the panel, we have Shreyans Chowdhary, director, Smato Technologies. Round of applause for Mr. Chowdhary, everyone, come on. And last but not the least, on the panel, we have Gunjan Bajaj, principal architect, Gutika House of Design. Ms. Gunjan will be joining us shortly. I request you to please start the session. Thank you so much, Rati.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Smart Home Expo, for having us all here. Topic that we are discussing is homes that look like in 2035, how smart they'll get, so in next 10 years. We have on the panel with us, firstly, I am Rati Chaudhary. I'm the editor of Ideal Home and Garden magazine. We have, on my right is Maulik. Maulik heads Beyond Alliance, a tech-driven firm that's been integrated automation and AV into high-end homes and spaces for over 15 years now, Maulik. He has a team of 125 and they tackle 200 projects a year. And he draws his inspiration from the universe. On my left here is Dipttii Khanna. Dipttii has her namesake firm in Mumbai, has worked on 150 projects. She believes that all the projects that she does should have emotion and purpose. That's her belief. And she's picked up 50 awards along the way. Shreyans on leftist corner is the founder of Smato, a smart home starter born out of a few Wi-Fi nightmares. I would like to know more about those. And a lot of coffee. High five. He's an engineer turned entrepreneur who's making tech integration in homes smoother, smarter, and a whole lot cooler. I like that. Okay, and we also have Gunjan. I believe she'll be joining us in 5 minutes. I'll introduce her then. So should we start? Can we start? Okay, my first question to you is to you, Maulik. So there is AI, IoT, and 5G advancing really fast. What kind of home automation will feel like it's, basic utility in 2035?
Yeah, I think in the last 15 years, we've seen automation advancing from being a smart system, like we replaced switches with keypads and keypads with apps and things like that. So it was just about controlling things wirelessly. Since the time of the onset of things like Apple HomeKit, smart things, it's now begun the journey to learn human intelligence. So I think by 2035, we'll see a lot of machine learning. We'll see a lot of systems that are automatically knowing what we want. Like today, we are typing questions on AI and getting the right answers. If I would Google this question or put it on AI, I would get a brilliant script of what's going to happen in 2035. But I have to ask a question. And I could just think of an analogy right now that those robotic cleaners, they know exactly where the room is. And they can move by themselves and clean the whole house. I think we are heading towards a world where some wearable technology on me will know which room I am in and will also know what I want. And it won't need me pressing a button or telling it what to do. It will know that, okay, Maulik is here, and I think Maulik would want this. And if it doesn't align with me, I'll change it. Otherwise, most of the things that I expect to be done would be done. It would know my sleeping hours, it would know my waking hours, it would know my routine. So it would just kind of replicate what I want without me intervening or triggering anything. I think that's where we are heading.
Okay. Sounds like a Black Mirror episode. I know it's your business, Maulik, like, but at some level, do you think it does it like it makes you nervous? Like tech knowing everything about you?
I think it's already a reality. If it has to make us nervous, it should make us nervous the day we picked up an Android or an Apple phone in our hands. I see this reservation from a lot of clients who say that that pod is listening to me. I said, your phone is listening to you. You don't need to avoid the pod for it. You need to stop using smartphones. I don't think we are heading to, okay, if I have some information, if I am doing some job in this world where information cannot be leaked, I understand the concern, but most of the users here have nothing to lose or gain if that information goes out. So yeah, when it comes to security, government security and those kind of concerns, these things will also have solutions. But for a everyday routine, I think it's okay. They already know everything. We know, we get these scary things popping up. I just mentioned Bali and everything about Bali came up. So that's already a reality.
Yeah.
Without me using any automation or any other technology, that's happening to me. So what worst can happen?
Yeah. So it's not a myth anymore.
It's not a myth.
It is listening.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, machines are listening to us. Okay, okay. Cool. Is Gunjan here? Okay. Hi Gunjan, please join us. Please clap for Gunjan. Gunjan Bajaj is a Mumbai-based designer with over 50 years in the industry and more than 50 luxurious projects she has done. She runs Gutika, House of Design, where she brings together traditional Indian aesthetics with the bold contemporary touch. So, Gunjan, now that you're here, I'll come back to you. Quickly.
Yeah, sure.
First, I'll just ask some questions. Shreyans, my next question is to you. What's the biggest and you can build up on what Maulik also said because it's equally relevant to you. What's the biggest challenge in building truly plug-and-play smart homes? I think it's the extension of what I was talking about already.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like the biggest challenge for making a truly smart home is going to be scalability in the future. Why I say that, we use a lot of terms like AI is going to change these and that. But I don't think AI is that simple for the Indian market in general because I feel we are very different as human beings and our routines are not as straightforward as the American generation today. I compare it to driving cars. For example, driving in American highways, you know, you're always going straight. But when you're driving in India, you don't know whether that guy's going to go left, right. I mean, there's always that curiosity. And that curiosity, solving that curiosity by artificial intelligence is going to be tough for the Indian consumer because they don't know what they're doing in the next 10 seconds. Forget about AI knowing what they will do in the next whatever. So I feel being able to solve that in the right way is going to be challenge, and that comes with scalability, right? Because now we see so many different devices being made in India. There are so many different companies popping up. So today, whenever the designers would know, right? When they're designing a home, they need to always check with us. Will this work with this? Will this work with it? That question keeps popping up, right? So I think in 2035, that question should not pop up. Everything will talk to everything. So you would not need to check. And solving that is difficult because newer companies, newer technologies are coming every day. So to make sure that everything is compatible and interoperable with each other and not being able to ask, oh, should I buy this brand or that brand because I don't know whether they will talk to each other, solving that will really solve the ecosystem, I think. So I think that would be the biggest challenge moving forward.
But you think it's achievable? Despite all our challenges?
Yeah, definitely it's achievable. By 2035 or by later, that's something time will tell, I guess.
Okay, nice. Okay, so Dipttii, as Shreyans pointed out, the next question is to you. How can designers ensure that smart homes are still personal and warm? Like despite all this automation, despite all these, machines talking to each other, talking to us. How do we make sure that there is still a human angle in all of that?
Correct. I think with this growing technology and AI coming in, we still require that personal and touch and the warmth in the home, you know. So clients do prefer a lot of tech into their spaces, but yet I don't think it can still take away the, you know, the warmth and the personalization that's really, you know, required. And I think how tech can integrate into personalization, understanding like what Maulik said, you know, it has to understand the human behavior and act without saying it. So that's what, you know, it has to, I mean, 2035 is all going to be about experience, you know, rather than just tech taking over. So how really, you know, technology can seamlessly blend with experience and human behavior is what I think we are looking at now.
How do we personalize it? How do we still keep like something about ourselves which is not machine dependent, or you know, how do we eventually achieve that? Can we do that in design? Do
Correct.
we need to stick to our values?
Correct. Again, bringing in technology, we do look at convenience angle with technology. But again, as humans, we are always, you know, really craving for the textures, the touch and feel, and the warmth of still, you know, sustainable material, natural materials. So how we can integrate that with, you know, our tech surfaces and all, we can, you know, blend in that together. And again, you know, how we can make, you know, nature is something that we all really long, you know, all clients really want to get in nature, put outdoors in. So that transition of indoors and outdoors, how we can blend that along with technology is something, again, which we as designers and the companies, you know, like Beyond an Alliance, and you know, they can help us achieve all of that and put it together. So I think that the design will really play a big role in doing that.
I'm into achieving that balance in future. Gunjan, hi. So my next question to you, do you think clients will start valuing, do they value flashy gadgets more or hidden technology more, like, you know, silent and hidden technology?
I mean, this is a question that is so obvious. Like, we today are living in the world where, you know, we have our phones, our laptops, our iPads. It's making our lives easier, right? Having said that, we always say, oh, don't use too much screen time and all of that. So now integrating that technology into our daily lifestyle, I think that's so important. Wouldn't you want to live in a palatial looking home, but with all your amenities and your facilities, you know, just having to easily put on your aircon before you even get there, but then you get there and you see, oh, this is a palace, you know, I have these amazing carved furniture. And so for me, integrating technology is in your daily life, not only in terms of something that you're holding, something that can be, say I'm sitting on a chair, why not have like something recliner in a old-fashioned looking chair, something that I could want, you know. So that is integration of technology for me. Will the clients accept it? Of course, why not? If you're giving me luxury in my most comfort zone, everyone is going to accept it. Maybe slowly, swiftly, but definitely yes.
Are they going for flashier gadgets, which is like in the face, or is it more hidden, sort of like? You know, sometimes it's all automated. You can't see it. But sometimes it's not a Delhi versus Bombay question.
I was wondering how to answer that, of course. But no, I'm not going to get to that banter right now. It's a subjective choice. For a person like me, I would definitely go for more hidden things where people come and ask me, hey, where the hell is this, you know? What are you doing? How are you even operating this? So something like that would be great for me. But maybe for for a client, it could be, you know, I want something like a beautiful scarlet furniture kind of a thing, which is like on the face. But it is beautiful. I'm not saying flashy things have to be flashy and horrible looking. It could be good. It could be creative. It could be art. So I think that is a very subjective question. But we tackle it as and when we get our clients. Delhi or Bombay.
Yeah, well, kind of like maximalism versus minimalism. also, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Maulik, next question is to you. Some trend that you're seeing right now, which seems very understated at the moment, but you think in 2035 it'll be like dal, like it'll be everywhere. Most common, I mean, I say dal when.
I think it's data.
Yeah.
Use of data, collection of data, and turning it into algorithms is currently underrated. Like you say, it's an anxiety stage that it's going, like how you asked. But today we already have features on an Apple phone. When I am home, what should happen? When I'm not home, what should happen? When the first person arrives, what should happen? When the last person leaves, what should happen? So this is not a thing of the future. This is already happening. And the more and more, I wish that this was 15 years back and we would have had 1,500 homes and 10,000 users data with us, which tell us that this is how people are using these systems.
Yeah.
And see, I'm not talking about getting into your email or your WhatsApp. I'm talking about how to create that comfort that you actually desire. Dipttii ma'am brought up a very nice point that we want outdoors, indoor, right? That is what dimmable, tunable lights are trying to do. Okay. She mentioned a very good point that we want to stay away from screens. Why? Because it has blue light. What else has blue light? All the white lights in our house have that blue light. So do I want to live in white light and say I'm off screens? I'm exposing myself to the same problem in a different form. White light is great when I'm working, but yellow light is great before sleeping. I want to kill white light if I want to sleep sound. Now all these things will happen with data. If I know a pattern, like how do we run larger organizations? You have systems, you have processes, you have data, you have patterns, and now you're following that pattern and making it an SOP. Just like that, homes will start becoming very, very intelligent, where right now we are telling it, okay, create a scene, and it seems like it's an expensive thing to create scenes. When it starts becoming affordable and a normal, then everybody will have that. And then you will have millions of people's usage data that what do they generally prefer in the morning. Okay, another example, I think two examples come to my mind. When you go to an Apple Music or you go to any music store, it will give you recommendations of genre of music according to what you have already played. How does it know that you will like this song next? And sometimes the whole playlist goes on and you will not skip a song. Because you know it exactly knows, because you have allowed it to record what you are listening to. It has the intelligence already built in to suggest you what you will like. Okay. I had heard of Tesla cars many a times. This January when I visited, I actually saw Tesla working and it was scary. Because my friend pressed summon the car and that car without any driver was extremely intelligently coming to us. So at the corner it is waiting, is there somebody coming? Nobody's crossing, it will go. When there is another car going, it will wait again. The most intelligent thing that I found about that experience is when it had to take a right turn on a highway, it didn't take it like a machine. It sprinted on the turn and then it again slowed down, which means it has learned a million times how the accelerator is pressed by a human when it is taking a turn on a highway. Now it reads signs. So whether you want to slow down or not on a speed limit, it will slow down. So it's adding safety. It comes with its learnings and teething issues, and I know there are a lot of scary stories also around it. But when this is happening and it's a reality, and there are taxis running in some parts of the world which have no driver, I think we are going towards that. So data and learning these will change how we operate things. And yeah, it will get better and better.
Yeah, as Shreyans was also saying that in India it's a little bit more difficult because they can take, like he's from Bangalore, so he'll be like taking a ride.
See, we are a few decades behind.
Yeah.
Most of the technology that you will see in this hall is from either America or Europe. Yeah. So we are a little behind. We can't be ashamed of that. Yeah. There are reasons for that. but we are going to follow them for sure. Whatever happens there, a few decades later, everything happens here.
I think we'll be the leaders. They'll follow us eventually.
I'd like to add something here. I think about the Tesla cars. I also had one experience, and I was actually wondering now what do I do, because I'm just thinking the car's doing everything, and that's when I realized I've been cribbing about this every time that, oh, I have to drive and work and message and call. I can actually do that, you know, so that's another coming back to integration of technology with our lives. I think that is a great experience. When we get that to homes slowly, I think everyone will start understanding, you know, how, like he said, teething experiences. Currently with the homes, we're having those teething experiences.
Any interesting story with some automation you guys did and it went in the completely different direction?
More than story, you know,
Not
I
the
have
right
a question. I have a question for the vendors who are sitting here. How do we, you know, that inhibition towards automation, how do we get that out of our clients? Because this is a question I'm sure everyone must be asking you, but because human is so subjective, like to explain everyone individually, it becomes like we need some pointers, some, you know, great, like, the doctor ne likha ye karna hai.
See, for us, experience centers have worked the best. That's why we have 5 of them in Mumbai and 1 in Surat. Like having so many of them is, you have to spend 2 hours time to understand why you are getting into this. You have to understand what will happen when it won't work. So all these questions are standard for the first time when they come to us. If the electricity goes away, what happens? When the Wi-Fi goes off, what happens? They need to be explained that Airtel or Jio connection going down is very different from Wi-Fi going down, okay? And everything will still work. I will still have manual override. All the fears need to be answered. Like before going for any surgery, you ask the doctor a few questions. And then you are, after listening to those answers, you say, okay, I think it's a better bet. And when they understand the benefits against the threats, and they understand that there is no threat, and I'm going to get so many benefits, and I'm never going to be handicapped without it, this psychologically needs to be drilled in that demonstration or the experience. I don't think there's any shortcut to
I think
this.
I would like to add to that again. This was one of the reasons we've kind of worked together so much, because their experience center has really helped, you know. So clients always look at experiencing something before they want to get into it. So, you know, their experience center has really helped us, you know, make the client really understand what they are getting into. You know, it's not, we are not forcing on them anything. So we are making them experience it and then, you know, getting into the whole thing of it. So that's really nice.
Cool. So Shreyans, my next question is to you. What's your boldest tech prediction for 2035?
I think my boldest prediction is there will be no smart devices in 2035. Your home is going to be the smart device. So essentially, you think about it, you don't need to put anything in your house. The walls and the ceilings are going to be smart. They'll have all the integrated things inside the walls and stuff. So imagine you waking up late at night and you're a little angry walking towards your kitchen, and the lights automatically turn off with a slightly dim way, playing a little bit of jazz so that your mood goes better. So you can imagine something like that happening without putting any device inside the house, so that everything is smart inbuilt itself. And also that comes back to personalization, because when you don't have anything to see inside the house, which is invisible, and then I believe every house is basically a storytelling experience. So that storytelling is personal. So you keep the storytelling separate from the technology, and that's how you will keep personalization at scale as well eventually.
Now, one question to all of you. You can choose who. It's open to all. One smart tech feature that should be non-negotiable in a 2035 home. Who wants to take that?
I'll go.
Yeah, I think you're best placed.
According to me, it's going to come to energy monitoring. Okay, the way we are heading and the way we are exploiting resources, it's going to become a mandate. And along with energy monitoring, I think the second thing that I can predict is quality monitoring. Like, for example, the quality of air that we are breathing in. Technology will have to take care of that, because we won't have control on the outdoors. We will have to, and we are fortunately or unfortunately 80-90% times indoors. So the quality of air that I'm breathing, the quality of water that I'm using, the quality of sleep that I'm giving myself, quality of light that I'm using. I think quality monitoring and energy monitoring will become non-negotiable because people will start understanding the health benefits of this.
I agree to
yeah,
that. I
I'm
think
glad he mentioned it. I would like your
health,
take
yeah,
on it.
something which is on human well-being is something that's going to be non-negotiable, and so that's something which
I'm
even I
glad
feel.
you touched on sustainability and the whole pollution angle. Would you like to add, Gunjan?
Yes, I usually always actually design with sustainability in mind. Whatever fits in the client's budget, I try to incorporate that because moving forward, we will have to incorporate lifestyle changes within the indoors, absolutely, outdoors for sure. But like he said, outdoors is not in our control. Indoors is. So, air purifiers or your more advanced, like definitely we do have some already in the market, but light management, your rays management, your Wi-Fi, your waves management, electromagnetic waves, coming to that level of detailing, I think that is going to be the 2035, mantra for sure.
I mean, I slightly beg to differ. I think outside is also our responsibility because it's all a vicious circle. But yeah, here's to creating a balance. Shreyans?
But I think, of course, data monitoring is going to be an important aspect, but that's only the first step. I think preemptively making sure that that data is being utilized well to make sure your devices have a longer lifetime is going to be the next step on top of it. And the other thing I think is the dependability on cloud is going to be absolutely minimum. Nothing should leave your house without your consent, essentially. So data management on how you manage the data to stay within your ecosystem and not talk to cloud so that the security aspect remains intact. I think that's also going to be big moving forward, where everything stays locally within the house and nothing is talking to the cloud eventually.
No, that's also a very valid concern. Anybody has any questions that you would like to ask the panel here around technology in 2035? Do we have another mic that we can? Thanks, Shreyans.
Hey, hope I'm audible. Yep. So before I come to the question, let me throw an opinion from my side. It is quite possible, whatever we discussed today is quite possible to be done in next few years. The space that we have between the technology and human experience, the abstraction that we currently have can be merged, and it will be so seamless that you will not even feel that there's technology around you. So that could be the future for 2035. It doesn't have to take up to 2035. We have all the technology. We have all the scientific research in place, right? So the only question is about who is going to throw the money at it and how do you achieve the economies of scale? Because just some premium customers having this facility will not help us put this large chunk of money to build this capability, right? It's about how do we achieve the economies of scale so that it becomes technically viable and as a product, as a service, it becomes technically viable for all of us to deliver it. Right? So how do we actually make automation, if you look at the technology landscape today, nothing that we discussed today can be done in next 2 years if we just throw the money at it. Because technology is there, it's just that we need to put all the right pieces together in the right format and deliver it. It's just about how do we make it or package it in such a format that can be sold to the masses, not just a few limited premium customers. How do we do that? See, all that you said is absolutely right, but how do we achieve the economies of scale?
Who wants to take it?
Hello. Yeah. I think it should be looked as a coordinated effort on two scales, the macro scale and the micro scale. On the macro level, you have the geos of the world who are already setting up your infrastructure for the 5Gs and the internet aspect, which is obviously the backbone of the ecosystem, is the networking. So that's being done on the macro level by the geos of the world. At the micro level, we have people like us and you guys who are the local integrators. There is no way to eliminate them because it's always a service-driven business rather than a product-driven business today as well. So while the macro infrastructure is being set by the geo guys to make sure that at scale, we have a reliable backbone of network to rely on. And at the local level, we have the integrators who are doing the last mile installation to ensure that that scale is achieved eventually, I feel, along with that.
Any more questions?
Thank you so much for this amazing discussion. I have a question regarding our dependency on China. I think as Shreyans mentioned that it's a service business, not a product business. So I like to differ with that. And again, I wish to differ with that. But as we have a dependency on China, like what we can do to avoid that, and we can have more like a product business rather than service.
See, I don't believe today that there is a dependence on China particularly. What I do believe that we are behind in terms of number of manufacturing facilities in India. So when I visited Shanghai, there are 2,000 manufacturers you can work with, but India is getting there where you will have door-by-door manufacturing OEM, people making products locally available in India, and that's already started on a macro scale. So I don't think that dependency on China is going to be a major issue moving forward.
Okay, so to extend the previous question, like to achieve the mass or for the middle class to have this facility and smart home and all that, can we get into it in the next couple of years without with our in-house manufacturing and production, without again involvement of China?
I think demand supply usually takes care of it. Okay, it percolates. Like the first mobile phone without being smart was say about 30,000-40,000 rupees.
Yeah.
The call was 30 rupees a minute,
Yeah.
or maybe more. And we thought that this is only for the luxurious segment. Today we are at 0 rupees calling, and we are at very affordable phones. Demand supply takes care of it.
Okay.
China will play a role because a lot of technology is developed there. Designed in America, manufactured in China, designed in Europe, manufactured in China. All these things will happen. It will bring economies of scale. Made in India is taking a lot of movement. That will also happen. A lot will shift. Affordability, if that's a question, it will keep happening. That's how markets move, I think. So it is going to come with more acceptability. There'll be more volumes and there'll be lesser pricing.
Also,
Okay.
I think to extend to his question, like awareness, the more we make people aware that this is helpful and not, it's a boon and not, it won't take you back in your lifestyle. You know, like many, like I said previously, people ask me like, even a digital lock, are ye to band ho jayega, you know, like something like that. The more we are aware and we spread the awareness, that's going to help, apart from only the costing part.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you everyone for attending. Maulik, Gunjan, Dipttii and Shreyans. And thank you everyone for being a part of this very insightful session. It's a topic that can go on forever. Should we get on together for a picture?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rati, for beautifully moderating this session. Can we have a round of applause for all our panelists? Thank you. Yes, I request all of you all to please get together for a group picture. Thank you so much for such an insightful session there. And I now request Mr. Nazim Sawant, Conference Head, Smart Home Expo, to please join us on stage. Panelists, I request you to kindly wait back. Nazim, I request you to felicitate all our panelists. Thank you so much for joining us for the panel discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause. She's been such an amazing moderator. Thank you, Rati. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Thank you so much. Come on, everyone. Please put your hands together, everyone. Come on. It's just the morning. Last but not the least, thank you so much. Once again, thanks to all our panelists. Thank you so much, Nazim.